to the #1 dungeon. He's gonna level up some, gonna help guide the little character on the screen to some sort of leveling up. This is the quick menu demonstration. He picks equipment without going to the active subscreen by pressing start. You can see he messes up the grass when he walks on it. That's all pretty cool. There's some clouds. Nice little screen. This was made with the DOR tile set that was made mainly by somebody by the name of Radian. I guess that's probably not the real name, but it looks really good. Kudos on that, and credit where it's due to you guys. Did some layering tricks with some scripting. Here it's gonna show, like you can see the power level up there. That's the initial damage the sword does, and then what the beam damage is. And so for demonstrational purposes, I'm going to use a cheat thing that I made in a debug menu to gain all of, well, some of the other swords, not to, you know, have a whole entire spoiler session. He's going to go through some of these swords and level them up so you can see how they cost different amounts of experience to level up these swords. And they're going to have different abilities, like the red one might shoot fire in the water, and maybe like one that sucks up hit points with every attack, and the wood sword's basically gonna, this is a major spoiler, but I plan on making it the most expensive to level up, the least rewarding, and then when it's leveled up to the maximum amount, it's gonna do the most amount of damage at the end of the game. But it's gonna be really, really hard to actually try to win the whole game by using only that sword. It would be really terrible. So, anyway, there's some character switching things. I'm considering turning this into not actually making Zelda a playable character, but making that a Bunny Hood script instead. Just put little bunny ears on the guy, like Ocarina of Time. Very classic game. It was great. And Zelda's other abilities, what she does, I don't think that I demonstrated it in the video, but she can hover on the side view, and she can repel and reflect the enemy's E-weapon stuff. She has a barrier that either absorbs them and makes them disappear, or makes them go away from her. Anyway, that's all kind of pointless. That there up there in the top left now is the EPI reader. It shows their enemy's hit points, ID, and amount of experience yielded. And it shows the multiplier. And the multiplier is based on how many NPCs are actually on the screen at the same time. So, when there's an enemy that yields higher experience, it's better to kill the higher yielding experience enemy before the other guys. So that way you get the multiplier. Like if there's 70 times 10, you want that more than like 5 times 10. And for every other weaker enemy that you might defeat before the guy that gives you the most amount of experience in this game is going to be a deal where that's gonna end up being bad, because then the multiplier goes down. And I plan on turning on the flag where the enemies aren't gonna come back. So basically you would, if playing this game and wanting to maximize your experience without having to level grind for hours, actually follow that advice and get the will most likely always go along the lines of the new guy you haven't seen before. More hit points, harder to defeat. Might, probably be the guy to go after, but it's not always gonna be that obvious. So, there's that. He's gonna get the Gloria guy right now for the maximum amount, This is a Mortal Kombat soundtrack that I remade with Fruity Loop Studio for fun a while back. Yeah. Which reminds me, Mortal Kombat 9 was pretty good. I think I probably experienced most of what it has to offer, but it was good. That guy there, I don't remember if I did or not, but I think I drew that guy. I didn't draw that guy. I drew this other guy that was like that, but facing sideways. Anyway, see, he's got a lot of hit points. That wouldn't be worth the time. Even for 10,000 experience points times whatever, you can avoid all those other guys for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to try and beat that guy at the beginning of the game. Even when he doesn't move, that would not be worth it. So the reason why there's this music playing is because I couldn't get the actual game's recording system to pick up the audio track, and I didn't have $39 to pay for tracks this month. I might do it next month and make some better recordings. Most likely. I don't really care. Anyway, there's a clock. It goes by AM, PM, the seconds, minutes, hours, etc., yada yada. Actually, in the scripting, it can be converted back to military time with relative ease. But anyway, it's pretty neat. If CC actually ran at 60 frames per second exactly the whole time, it would actually keep time with a real clock, and wobble compensation, time, whatever. Not really that big of a deal anyway, because if that were true, then the world would probably wobble off of its 24-hour system anyway, and then we'd have problems with CC thinking it's the different time eventually. So there's a guy I drew. He needs a little more detailing, but that's his basic body. Looks terrible, I know, but that's because mainly with the backdrop of where it is, it would look better. Okay, I totally stopped narrating the fact that he's shooting missiles right now. There's a lock-on system. He can choose targets, up to 3 targets, and shoot up to 3 missiles at once. I use the debug menu here to change the speed and the spread of the missiles. When he shoots more than one, it changes how far apart they are. And eventually I might, actually create a little graphic that makes it look like he's actually holding a rocket launcher when it's equipped. That would be neat. So there's that. Just to go wily with the missile launching, it's at 9 for no reason. That would be totally impractical. What there's gonna be probably eventually is a missile tune-up shop that actually levels up the missiles and can change the speeds, because having slower missile speed actually has its advantage to it because the steering speed stays the same. So if the missile goes slower, it can turn better towards the enemy, whereas if it's faster, it might launch right past them if you don't aim directly at them first. So that's something to think about if you ever actually end up playing this game. Give different things a try. So here's a moment of silence. And the rain at the different time. There's going to be a lot of time-based events that happen in the game. I did make some already, but none of them are going to be demonstrated in this video. And there's the entrance to level 1, so thus concludes this half of the video. I couldn't put the level 1 dungeon defeat walkthrough thing in this same video. So he's gonna go over and under this bridge because that was done via scripting, layering, trick, and stuff. And then we're gonna play a little fun song and cut to a Ganon room that is not completed either. And the song sounds funny. And then we're going to go to part 2. That defense stat, if his defense stat is higher than their attack stat, what it does is negate the E weapon if Link's weapon collides with it. And if his defense stat is actually 25 higher than their attack stat, then he actually will gain hit points from them trying to attack him when he parries, which is good. Da 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 da.